Alright people, you know what day it is, beta and preview day. Now I'm just going ahead and setting up the world here for today's beta and preview, which is version 1.20.50.23. But I'm now noticing down here as I'm setting up the creative features here, render dragon features for creators. I do not believe that was there before. Before we did have update 1.21, we did have villager trading, and we did have experimental cameras. So unless I am just completely and utterly oblivious, which is incredibly possible, that is a new toggle. Meaning that hopefully those shaders that were worked on should be out of beta and preview soon. That's at least my hope. That's my thought process here. Like I said, I could just be completely and utterly oblivious, but we're hoping not. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the features in this week's beta and preview. So first of all, let's take a look over here at the tough bricks. Last week, the tough brick textures did not line up with the brick textures of any other type of brick in the game. These lines right here were 1 pixel down, and it just did not line up properly. It was atrocious, and it hurt my soul. It was very, very painful to look at. However, it is now fixed, so we no longer have to suffer. We can just look at the beautiful, beautiful tough blocks. They have also changed the texture of the auto crafter. Now, these little red cubes are on the back 2 corners instead of all 4 corners, and I believe it has a bit more of a planky looking texture on the side. However, similar to the toggle that we talked about legit 2 seconds ago, that may have always been there, and I am just incredibly oblivious. You'll have to let me know, but either way, I still think it looks good. Now, last week we talked about the crafting recipes for all of these new blocks right here. However, a whole bunch of these crafting recipes did not work in certain tables depending on what it was. So let's go ahead and take a look. First of all, in the crafting table here, we can now craft chiseled copper blocks with 2 slabs of cut copper. However, this does not appear to work for any other oxidation level. This also does not appear to work for any waxed slabs. Mojang has now added a recipe for waxed chiseled copper, which is right here. You can just put a honeycomb on it in the creative inventory. Did not know that this was actually a feature. Also, if you now want to make waxed copper bulbs, you can just use waxed copper in the crafting menu. And then just in general, they added recipes for waxed copper. Previously, you clicked on the block with the honeycomb, and you still can do that, but it is evidently available to just mix together a block and a honeycomb in a crafting table now. For some odd reason, you can't put together waxed slabs to make a waxed chiseled copper, however. Mojang has also added the recipes for waxed copper doors, which you can make using waxed copper blocks. You should be able to do this with all oxidation levels of copper, as seen here. And then they have done the exact same for copper trapdoors. Now, Mojang has also officially added recipes for waxed copper grates inside of the stone cutter. As you see here, I'm putting in the copper, and we can turn it into the copper grates. And every single one of these is of the waxed variant. Now, in terms of the tough recipes, Mojang has actually added crafting recipes for tough blocks in the crafting table. So if we go ahead into the crafting table, we can make polished tough right here. With that polished tough, we can make stairs, we can make bricks, we can make walls, we can make slabs. Then, of course, using all that polished tough, you can make bricks. Using those bricks, you can make stairs, slabs, walls, all of it. And using those slabs, you can even make the chiseled tough. You can also, of course, make the tough stairs, tough slabs, and tough walls. And then using those tough slabs, you can craft the chiseled tough blocks. As you can see here, all of these crafting recipes are now available and properly work. Now, besides all those crafting recipes and these 2 texture changes, there is nothing else related to 1.21 in this beta and preview, so let's go ahead and get into the other changes, shall we? Alrighty, so for this first change here, chorus flowers can now be destroyed by any type of projectile and will no longer disappear after impact. So we can go ahead and shoot them with a bow and a crossbow. That has always been a thing. But now you can also use eggs, snowballs, and any other type of projectile in the game. Like, let's go ahead and grab a trident. That should work. Boom, even tridents work. So as you can see, all projectiles do work at breaking these chorus flowers. They have also fixed a bug where calcite was not available in the creative inventory or via commands. So if we do /give calcite, we can get calcite there. As we see here, calcite is available in the creative inventory. For some reason, it was not obtainable at all last beta and preview. Now, when you open your inventory, we have this up here. So we have these little tabs. We have the creative inventory. We have this inventory here. We also have these tabs in the crafting table. So depending on what you pick, when you close it, if you open it back up, it will actually be saved. So it saves what tab you selected. I guess for some reason, primarily crafting tables weren't saving whatever tab you were selecting inside of them. That does now work. And if we go over to the crafting table and select a tab, we open our inventory, open the crafting table, you see it saves as that tab. They fixed a slight issue that when players were flying, if they were sneaking, when they hit the ground, it slowed them down. Now, as you can see here, when I'm still holding the shift key, I'm slowed down, but when I let go of that shift key, I speed back up. And the issue was even when you let go of that shift key, you stayed going really slow like you were, which should not happen. So that has been fixed. And if you are someone who plays on mobile and uses touch controls, you can once again crouch when underwater. Now, there are two more features that we're going to go ahead and take a small look at here. First of all, the hotbar. Mojang claims that the hotbar is now less transparent. We've mentioned this multiple times now in this video, but I am quite blatantly oblivious. So I think it looks good. I do notice it's a bit of a darker background on it, so it's a bit more of a grayish black, while before I think it was a lot more of a light gray. You could see through it. So I do actually believe this one is true. I do not believe I'm being oblivious with this one, but who knows, I might be. And then finally, mobs. Mobs that were placed in boats before the introduction of the size restriction. So you know how you can no longer put mobs like horses and stuff in boats. For some reason, I can't spell. Get a horse. I don't think spiders can go in boats anymore either. I know polar bears can't. Mobs like these no longer fit inside the boats. And we'll go ahead and show this to you right here. This polar bear will not go in the boat. This spider will not go in the boat. This horse, well, the baby horse will go in the boat, but a big horse will not go in the boat, which are incredibly annoying changes, but that is just how it is now. However, there were issues where if you had a mob of the size in the boat that should not fit in the boat before the update, they will now be kicked out of the boat. So if you have any boats that have big mobs like these in the boat, guess what? Next full update release, those mobs are going to be kicked out of their boats. And if we go ahead and get some sugar and we feed this baby horse right here, you should see exactly how this is going to work. Pretty much once this update comes out, any mob that is too big to be in a boat, like this horse, once it fully grows up, is going to be ejected, just like that. It gets kicked right out of the boat. So that's going to be how that works once that update comes out. Anyways, that is going to be it for today's beta and preview. If you have enjoyed, maybe consider smashing that subscribe button and sharing these videos around with your friends. It would really help the channel out. Anyways, this has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I'll see you next time. Peace.